It's a great name. I don't know if it's great for.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we'll keep trying the names another time. People are gonna start tuning into this. What the hell are they talking about? We're gonna pique their interest, and then we're gonna have to be cryptic and not tell them, and then they're gonna think we're rude.
That's true. Or they're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, what are you guys doing?" Nothing.
So I don't wanna do that then.
I don't either.
No. Look at you all cool, calm and collected over there. Look at that. You're such a casual podcaster.
I'll sit up. It's because we're about to get serious.
Hey,
No,
everybody.
not really. Hey.
Welcome to the low blow. I'm Mo.
I'm Ballz.
Which way am I pointing? I don't even know. I was trying not to look at the screen to do it.
I pointed at myself just in case. I knew I would point at the right thing. Be like, I'm Ballz. Because if I tried to point at you, I'm going to go that way. And I actually got it right that time, but normally I would never get it right.
I'm the one that's all tense and anxious. I'm Mo, the one that's cool, calm, and collected. His balls are drinking a beer, chewing some Mr. Perfect gum. He's going to spit out and hit at some point. See if he can hit the camera.
I absolutely will.
Yeah.
Oh, man. How big is that? Okay, that camera is literally like this big. That's not going to happen.
Okay, well, if you get it anywhere on the camera itself, maybe not the lens, but if you get anywhere on the camera, I think that's a win.
Oh, absolutely.
The Ballz gum challenge. You have to make sure to say that.
So I just smashed my laptop.
The Ballz gum challenge just doesn't sound.
No.
And he's taking off. Wow.
I am.
Man, the viewers are getting a show today.
I don't know why my apartment's warm right now. Why?
There you go.
It does not need to be a full screen thing.
Bounce, bow, wow.
Okay.
Ladies, you feel free to make it rain.
Yeah.
We lost like half of our viewers as we did that, by the way.
I am the privacy of your own home. Make it rain.
So thank you for ruining our viewership there.
I apologize. I don't know. It's hot in here.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah. How are things in your world? It was just this past Sunday that War Games was happening, right?
Yeah.
This has been such a long week for me. It's like that was only this past weekend.
Yeah. It was Sunday. Yeah.
It was a good show though. I mean, it's hard to find the NXT takeover events that aren't good.
Yep. No,
there are
definitely.
some, they are few and far between. This one was great. I know some people that reached out to me said they couldn't get into the War Game matches this year because of the lack of crowd.
Really?
I mean, you got some people live in attendance. Obviously, you have the fans on the screens. But
yeah.
I say a match like that, you need the oohs and the ahs and the people screaming and whatnot, and you didn't get that. So I can understand that to an extent.
No, I do to an extent. Yeah. No, it didn't ruin it for me, but I've also been, faithfully watching since there's been no crowd. So I guess I'm used to it now, or I'm desensitized to the fact there's no real crowd noise, I guess.
Oh, I get that. I think you and we were texting during it and both comparing notes that Pat McAfee, the antivirus wrestler, dude is working his ass off when really, as we said, he doesn't need to.
No, he could be coasting totally, and he's not. He absolutely not. He's pulling out, really high spot after high spot and landing them and, surviving. So he's obviously been training longer than we ever thought. Hey, Nathan.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's been training, and I don't want to call out Rob Gronkowski. With his WWE run, he wasn't booked to be a competitor like Pat McAfee, but McAfee is going to make him look bad accidentally because McAfee, he's just killing it. He really is.
He is. I mean, let's be honest. McAfee's making legit WWE stars look bad. I mean, his mic work. I mean, his wrestling was good, and War Games I thought was super entertaining, but really his mic work is light years above some people in WWE. And that's main roster as well.
Oh, yeah. And he's also trying to be a heel.
For sure.
And he's fine being a heel. And that's a big deal, is that a lot of these stars come up and they want to be cheered. They want to sell the merchandise. I don't think Pat McAfee cares if he sells any merchandise right now.
No, I don't think he gives a crap. No, not at all.
Yeah. So I thought it was a good show. Anything else stand out to you? Io Shirai putting herself in a trash can and jumping off the top of the cage with that goofy smile on her face. Like, I love Io Shirai.
I know. Oh god, that's that moment where you have to have so much faith in your own self, and then the faith that your entire group will catch you. Because I mean, once you put that thing on, you can't see nothing. You're hoping you jump as far as you're supposed to. I don't care how often you practice that.
Which I'm willing to bet was probably once at most with some mats in there.
Yep. It is just like, is this enough momentum? And then you're like looking down through the can going, there's people. And you're like, I just cannot imagine that feeling.
Yeah. I love it. And go back and watch it or once you watch that highlight or whatever. Because she also holds on to the trash can to make sure it stays in place. So she's like jumping off the cage, holding on like that. How awkward is it that she's putting it on, can't see anything, has to hold on like all weird just for us.
Because I mean, what would happen if it like slid up? Like, I mean,
right? Yeah. Then it wouldn't have been the same. John pointing out that Snoop Dogg doesn't seem to care about merch sales. Hey-o. That's because he's going to be in AEW in a couple weeks.
I was going to say, I did read that like WWE is super pissed at that, which makes me laugh.
Yeah. Candice supposedly broke her arm in the War Games match. Can't figure out when it happened. You know, I haven't tried to go back and watch, but that's...
It's when Shotzi Blackheart jumps off the cage and comes down on her back across Candice. Candice put a chair in between her and Shotzi. Okay. Yeah. And the chair, I believe it's Shotzi coming down on the chair, coming down on her arm.
All right. And I know that Bobby Fish tore a tricep.
Yeah.
So he's going to be out of action for a while. We don't know exactly how long, but...
Which sucks, because I think Bobby Fish... I hate throwing the word accident-prone at somebody, but it feels like Bobby gets hurt, comes back for a couple months. Bobby gets hurt, comes back. Yeah. And whether he's still on TV, because he's like with Undisputed Era, but not in the ring... So he's still like there sometimes, but I feel like, 2019, 2020, dude got hurt like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong about that. So I really liked it. Corey talking about how entertaining AEW is without a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. The winter is coming. Winter is here. That event for a non-pay-per-view was massive. I think AEW is going to keep doing that for a little bit, keep doing some of these, hence why they're already promoting some of their January shows.
Yeah.
I think they realize it's working for them. Ratings are up this week, and number 3 all-time high for them.
Before we keep going on that, do you think number 3 all-time high is high enough? Do you feel like, Sting spoke for the first time, Shaq was on. I'm sure they were aiming for best ever. Is number 3 an okay consolation for that?
You should always aim for best ever. But no, you're right. Something like that, you would probably hope it to be more. But you also, you had some competition that night and whatnot. I don't know. I think they're just happy to see it bump back up because they had been stagnant for a while. So it's nice to see that they did have a huge jump up. And
that's true.
And really something like that also takes time. As we talk about, you can get eyes on the product, but you need to maintain those people.
Yep.
And so now I want to see, I want to see what is curious as what episode was the highest of last night. Wasn't. It was one of the earlier episodes. It started pretty high.
Was it the debut? I feel like it might have been the debut. Yeah, it came down and then kind of just consistently.
I could twirl around. I just don't want to.
I was waiting for you to go all the way around. I'm
gonna do like the Exorcist, Devon's favorite thing, the Exorcist, and turn my head around. But so we're actually gonna get to AEW because and we'll do that in a few. Actually, I want to stick with WWE real quick.
Okay.
But I'll even tell the story of why we're doing the AEW for Dummies while we're doing that. But I wanted to talk about these rumors now that we're getting close to the road to WrestleMania, Royal Rumble next month. There's 3 working WrestleMania matches. So I think it's WrestleVotes that is claiming that these are the 3 matches that are not set in stone, but these are the blueprint, and if things change, things change. So
Yeah.
I'll start with the one that's a little less polarizing. The one that's
first of all, I feel like when someone says that, you and I could literally throw matches out there and go, well, if things change, things change. It's like it's the get out of jail free card for everyone who predicts anything.
Oh yeah. Like so I do a geek report on my radio station every day, and we got this covered. That website is always making these claims, and we have this history of we were the first to call this. They have so many duds. And bombs, but they hold on to like the 3 they've got.
Yes. Oh, we were the one who told you this, and the one who said this, and you're like, yeah, but you've got 57 other things wrong.
Yeah.
But no,
the wrestling sites are all trying to be the one that does that. Yeah. So the one that's a little less controversial would be Randy Orton versus Edge.
Yeah, I feel like that's a no-brainer. Like,
if Edge is healthy, ready to go, we need a tiebreaker. It makes sense. Now, the only change from the original expectations for it is this won't be for a title.
No. Okay.
Which I'm okay with that too. It should be more about heat than
Absolutely.
the actual championship. I'd love to see Edge win that belt. I just don't think we need that right now.
No. Would it be? First one was Last Man Standing, or it was Last Man Standing or Falls Count Anywhere. It was that type of match, right?
Yeah, I think it was Falls Count Anywhere. No, it was Last Man Standing.
Oh, that's right. It was like 9. Oh my god.
WrestleMania. Edit this match better.
And then it was the best wrestling match to ever happen ever. So I wonder what the third stipulation would be.
No holds barred.
Only if Hogan and Zeus come back.
God, I would actually be down for that. Much better than this one, which is one of the 3 matches. It would be Roman Reigns versus Bill Goldberg for the Universal title. Your reaction is a mood. Let me tell you that right there. Perfect.
My reaction is because I don't see there's a way of doing it. Obviously, they were supposed to do it last year and it didn't happen. Is there a way to do it without giving Goldberg a title that he doesn't deserve, or, a win over what is probably the best character going right now, which is the head of the table, Roman Reigns?
This, of course, I think is the match that maybe they want to build towards just in case Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's not available. And he's been very open about saying, I'll come back. I'll take on Roman. And that's the better storyline with the head of the table. You could bring in this week's Table Talk guest, Rikishi. You could bring in the whole family. You can have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah.
But in case he's not allowed to, the movie studio won't allow him to because he could get injured or he's just too busy, whatever the case may be. This is the backup plan. And I don't like this backup plan.
No. Can we find 14 other Samoans for him to go up against? Like, there has to be someone else.
It's the same problem they run into every year at WrestleMania, where it's not about building new stars or young talent.
It's who's going to lose to Goldberg.
And it's early. If this even happens, I actually think Roman gets this win. But of course, Goldberg will look like a maniac because he kicks out of 5 Superman punches.
And what happened was they have these old graphics from last year where it's spear versus spear, and they're like, well, we got to use them. So we paid this guy $6 to make these graphics, so we gotta use it. So that's what I feel like.
Hey, Casimir thinks that Goldberg wins it because he had a short title run last time. Well, I don't know. Maybe he should, wrestle more, or
not
drop the Undertaker on his head.
That's my issue. Is that okay? You don't want a short title reign. You're not conditioned for a long title reign. And that's not saying anything about Goldberg. He just doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
He's literally, I feel like he would be more like an Undertaker, where he literally, trains for a couple months, does the match, takes a vacation.
Yeah.
Hosts probably a show on Speed Network. I don't know if that's still on. I just know he used to host a show about cars.
Is the Speed Network still on?
Is it still a thing? I don't know.
The way 2020 is rolling out, you don't want to assume.
That's true. That's true.
We got John here saying the things we're discussing, the number one reason why AEW is gaining traction. Same old stale, push the same. The next match we're talking about switches things up a little bit once we get past Goldberg, but even then it's probably not enough to to satiate, the fans that are looking or desperate for something younger new. Stars.
Yeah. Yes.
So the last of the 3 working WrestleMania matches would be a triple threat. Drew defending his title against Keith Lee and Brock Lesnar. See, you're like, ooh, Keith Lee. Okay. All right. Oh, Brock Lesnar. So you're like, you get your hopes up and that's why I positioned it that way.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre, Keith Lee. Okay. Sheamus. Okay. All right. We can deal with that. Brock Lesnar.
Well, there's number one, that means Drew is still champ. Or loses it and gets it back.
Right. Which I don't see that happening.
No, I don't. If he
somehow is on fire storyline wise, like the Fiend or something.
Yeah. Like that, I guess that's what I'm thinking is. So you're telling me between now and WrestleMania, Roman is still champion, Drew is still champion. That sounds so non-exciting for the rest of me watching WWE. I'm like, oh, great, all right.
Well, I think Roman's a gimme, to be honest with you.
Most likely.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, of the 2, I would expect him to be the one that holds onto it, unless it's Goldberg makes a surprise appearance in February and gets it back at WrestleMania. God, I hope not. Nathan says, I'm a huge Brock fan, and even I'm tired of him. He doesn't need to be in the title picture.
No, it does. No, because if he's in the title picture, there's a good chance he wins. Like, there's just a good shot that WWE goes, you know what we need? Ratings are Brock Lesnar. And we go, what?
And Goldberg.
And Goldberg.
So maybe they can both be champion at the same time in 2021.
Oh.
And then maybe an AEW Sting can be a champion.
AEW is like, we have to top them.
Impact's like, well, we can't compete with those names, but we got Ken Shamrock.
I was going to say, but we have Ken Shamrock.
I mean, that's... And Ring of Honor's over here like, well, we still have Jay Lethal. I mean, he's our consistent.
You're not wrong. I mean, Jay Lethal is still there.
It's so bad.
It is.
I hope these are incorrect. I hope these are, again, just a blueprint if better options don't present themselves. But if this is the lineup, like the headlining matches at WrestleMania, I'm tapping out already, man.
I know. You and I could literally record the same show from now until then and just drop it in places. So we're just talking about Drew McIntyre, still champion. Roman, the head of the table. Brock Lesnar, you got chubby. Like, I don't know.
Jared says Lethal's carrying Ring of Honor. He has been. God, how many years now?
For years.
Dedication. I mean,
Jay Lethal, Briscoes.
I mean, I commend Jay Lethal, who could probably go elsewhere and get a bigger paycheck, but no, he stays in Ring of Honor. Good for him.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Good for him. So, those are the working Mania matches. We'll see what happens. And if Goldberg does come back, if Goldberg wins the title, will Gage, his son, wear a shirt this time?
Most likely. I think he wore a shirt the second time.
Yeah.
I think so.
Third time's a charm, though. No pants.
No pants Gage.
Yeah. All right. So I want to point out, because somebody's like, AEW's not for dummies.
No, it's obviously a play on the book series, Blank for Dummies, where you learn about something. Yeah. Right.
So we actually were in a conversation, I think on Twitter, a couple days ago, where we were a little shocked to see one of our friends, one of our colleagues, doesn't watch AEW, but not a big fan of WWE either. So surprising that he hasn't checked out this option yet. Billy Business, shout out to him.
Yeah.
But him being such a huge Sting fan, he's like, ugh, I may finally have to check it out.
Yeah.
And that kind of surprised me. I'm sure that kind of surprised you too, that he hasn't done so already. And do you recall what he said why he hasn't done so?
Oh, that he was afraid he would be unfamiliar with who was on the show.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny because if you start going through the roster at AEW, there's a lot of familiar faces.
There are familiar faces, absolutely. And I mean, you look at WWE, and if you haven't watched WWE in a while, you're like, who's Keith Lee? You're like, I feel like you have a lot of the same type of mentality.
There's a lot of people that watch Raw and SmackDown, maybe the pay-per-views even, but not NXT.
Yeah,
they don't watch that show, that there's still a stigma that, well, they're the training ground. I'll see them on the main roster eventually.
Yeah, I'll invest time in them when they get up here. I'll be like, I'm watching NXT. I rarely watch SmackDown, and I'm half the time forget Raw's on Mondays.
And that's the one that's been on Mondays forever.
Yes. Forever.
Yeah, well, it's kind of sad. But AEW Dynamite Wednesday on TNT, and good show. I mean, the wrestling isn't for everybody because there are, dare I say, more spots than you get in a lot of other promotions.
There are.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but some people like a more old school approach. And
I feel like they do try to give you that with certain people. So they try to do, I feel like, a something for everybody. But a lot of the younger guys they do incorporate more spots than other people.
Right. Sure. And we do not want to say by any means that the AEW is a perfect program. There is no perfect program out there. But AEW has a passion right now that they are definitely putting a lot of effort forth into entertaining us. Maybe they hit the mark, maybe they don't, but you at least feel that there is momentum and everybody's on the same team trying to move forward.
No, absolutely. And I mean, there are, like, I just want to, what you said, there are definite issues. And I know one of our longtime listeners, Mike, said on our Facebook, he was like, I give it a shot, but I don't blindly follow it or apologize for it, which is completely accurate. And I will say, like, I'm a fan, but there are definite faults in the show. But you should, I do feel like wrestling fans should still check it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's kind of like the PlayStation versus Xbox debate, which then in pro wrestling, you could bring in Nintendo and computer gaming as well, PC gaming, and really have that argument of who's best. And people are very loyal. When I'm like, why not own them all?
PC gaming is Ring of Honor. I just want to throw that out there.
It's, there's a passion behind your product, your brand. And so AEW fans, much like WWE fans, don't get me wrong, can really jump in on this. Mad Dog saying that they're good at showing younger guys a chance to perform in the ring.
Yes. Yep.
Which is a good thing. I think it is a mix. It's a comfortable balance of all of the above because, as we said, our friend is only checking it out because Sting's there.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know the young talent. You got to start somewhere, but, a lot of people didn't pick up on the Bullet Club until they were already popular.
Yes, absolutely.
And with that said, you see on the screen there, Kenny Omega is our current world champion. Is there anybody elsewhere in wrestling, WWE maybe, that Kenny Omega, his character reminds you of?
Ooh. Right now, I feel like he's really, since becoming the champ, it's more of a, I don't know. It's definitely like your typical smart-mouthed heel, but I feel like it's almost, I don't want to say a rock star quality, but there's very much like an
he's kind of a douche.
Yeah, yes.
Coming in the helicopter and whatnot.
Yeah.
Living the high life. He's got the invisible hand in Don Callis from Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
So that's fun right there. I'm like, I guess you could kind of say it's almost like a Heyman Lesnar situation.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not saying he wrestles like Lesnar. I'm just saying the dynamic, the dominance, the confidence, the cockiness.
And I guess the only thing I would say is that Lesnar, I feel, needs Heyman as a mouthpiece, where Omega doesn't really need Callis, but he's a nice accent.
Mm-hmm. Mad Dog says he reminds me of a younger Shawn Michaels, where when it comes to the cockiness and the confidence, I would say that
absolutely.
in ring talent.
Yes. No, I mean, if you had Kenny Omega doing Sexy Boy, I would totally buy that. Yes.
Omega.
Yeah. I love. Have you caught on to his entrance that like changes every time?
No, actually, I haven't.
That Justin Roberts says a bunch of accolades, and the accolades change every time. It's like he does like he was the first one to do this. He's the first one in this one. He's like, and he lists like 17 different things that Kenny Omega's done in his career, and then he goes, he flew his helicopter over North Carolina. and like now I'm like I need to hear what Justin Roberts says every time, because last week it was Kenny Omega lives 1,700 miles from something North Carolina. I was like, all right, if it's going to change every time, I'm going to have to pay better attention.
Yeah, I'm going to have to as well now. Yeah, good call. This guy said Bret Hart kind of reminds me of Bret Hart a little bit. Hart and Shawn Michaels. I mean, like if you're somehow new to AEW, you don't know the Kenny Omega name. Realize who he's just been compared to by some of your fellow brethren here.
It's because he's Canadian, I think.
Maybe. You get to Darby Allin, which is a little bit tougher, or at least in my opinion, tougher.
It is. It is. I mean, because I think he has a very daredevil mentality. Mm-hmm. I did enjoy
not a wrestler in WWE, Ballz.
No.
He's a character in Spider-Man 3. I know that doesn't narrow it down.
Spoilers. Yeah, there's 17 other people. Yeah. I did enjoy the Sting promo where he's talking about being back, and he goes, some things are very, very similar. And he looks up in the rafters, up in the top, and there's Darby Allin in the face paint looking down, watching. And I was like, all right. So, I mean, he's a risk taker, but he's not
rule breaker.
Yes, all those things. But I feel like I don't know who they compare him to, but he's definitely like more like he's a skateboarder. He does fun videos. That type of stuff. Mm-hmm. I almost want to be like he'd be just as home on like a Jackass as he would when your finishing move. We talk about Io Shirai with the trash can. Darby Allin does a coffin drop where he just jumps backwards and goes like this. I feel like they're all kind of slightly insane.
He is. He's. I guess, for lack of a better term, he's like a Jeff Hardy. Mm-hmm. Because he can be absolutely serious and dangerous in the ring, but he can be a goofball elsewhere.
Yeah.
Darby Allin really is a collection of characters, and that's what makes him fun. But if you needed one, Jeff Hardy would probably be my pick.
No, I would agree with that.
Like a younger Jeff Hardy, not like current Jeff Hardy who just, paycheck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, so what about our women's champ there?
I have no comparisons for Hikaru Shida.
She is uncomparable.
She is. I do think she's good in the ring. I just
uncomparable.
I just honestly, and this is probably where an AEW falters, is their women just don't get enough screen time on the actual show. AEW Dark has 14 women's matches. The show has, Dynamite has 1. Yeah. I haven't seen her enough to make a good comparison wrestling style, and I don't have a character comparison for her.
That is probably a big fault that we agree on. The women's division in AEW is just lacking. I don't know if it's a personality, if it's time, all of the above.
I feel like when we're looking at the website, I'm like, all right, they do have a larger roster than I thought. They just aren't being given the time to really show it, at least right now. Okay.
Yeah, this in the mind of Medusa. Yeah, is a suggestion there, going a little bit old school with that suggestion there.
Well, I feel like if Sting is your entry point into AEW, Medusa is probably a good reference for you.
You bring up a good point there. And then the last of the champions, and obviously for Tom, we probably can't go through the whole roster, but the Young Bucks, obviously the Rockers.
Yeah, that's where I was going to say, is like part Hardys, part Rockers for sure.
And I'm talking like the Marty Jannetty Al Snow version.
Well, yeah, the New Rockers, of course. I mean, why would it be anything else?
I mean, the only problem is then you're also picking one of these guys to be Marty Jannetty. That's the only problem with this comparison.
Who would normally be the bad one, but now you also have Al Snow. So which one is the worst of the tag team there?
Yeah, I mean, you can also maybe compare the Young Bucks to the Hardy Boys as well.
Yeah, for sure.
More of just a go, intense style of wrestling. But really, when it comes to tag teams elsewhere that people would know, recognizable names maybe in WWE, I can't think of any. Like, those are my teams right there.
Yeah. Those are the only two comparisons I had.
Yeah, and even then, most people probably even at least know these names if you're a wrestling fan.
Yeah, and that's
like
what
our friend Billy, he knows, DX was suggested.
Mm-hmm.
To an extent, yeah, especially if you get all the elite together, or
so if this was like a year or so ago, and they were like all elite still, for sure.
Yeah. All right, so we move on. We got a couple members of the Dark Order here, which we're not going to go individually with all of them.
No.
Otherwise, they're all just Eric Rowan.
Yes.
And then a lot of people are like, who's Eric Rowan? And that doesn't help. So
no, absolutely.
Was that the guy with Bray Wyatt? Yes.
It was the guy who wore like a potato sack and then
and a spider. He had a spider.
And a spider. Yeah, he had a spider recently.
So the Dark Order, obviously with the former Luke Harper, now Brody Lee, or again Brody Lee, who is a little bit cult leader, a little bit Vince McMahon.
Yeah, they've definitely toned the Vince stuff down since his debut.
Right.
And he's currently out with an ankle injury, so I mean he hasn't even been mentioned in a while. But I enjoyed the Dark Order more than I used to.
Mm-hmm.
They had a great reference to Dustin Rhodes, Gold Dust, on this week's show, where he's like, "How would you like to be number 7?" Which 7, if I'm not mistaken, was his character in WCW, right?
That he doesn't like to talk about, so that's huge.
Yes,
he's
that's
like, go ahead. So I sign off on this.
Yeah. Because the whole promo when Dark Order comes out and he goes, "When are you going to realize you're the 3rd most important Rhodes on the show?" Like, he goes, "But 3rd, how would you like to be 7?" Like,
that's good. That is
good.
It
was good. I was like, all right.
Is there a group that they remind you of? Say it. Say Retribution. Say it. Come on, say it.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, there are parts of it that are are similar to like a Ministry of Darkness, but almost. I also was gonna say like a corporate ministry. They're definitely like a business. They're a cult, but like they advertise like any normal business would.
Corporate ministry. I love.
I know. Right. It's like, but not together because the corporate ministry together was just bad.
Well, yeah, obviously. There's no naked member of
Not yet.
Dark Order yet.
Not yet, no.
And it's funny, John says ministry mixed with the oddities. I was even thinking the oddities. I'm like, maybe, but nice to know that somebody else.
There's a sprinkling with the oddities for sure. Yeah.
A sprinkling. Yeah, a little bit of Golga in there.
Yeah. Where you just assume these guys are going to be jobbers, and most of them, sure, some of them are, but they aren't. Like number 5 there, Alan Angels, dude can go.
Yeah.
And like some of these guys got signed straight up from auditioning on AEW Dark.
Yeah.
With mixed with the Disciples of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you're right, John. Great minds do think a lot. I mean, I don't think a lot. I don't have a great mind, but you're right. They do that.
Some do.
So you got Adam Diamond Dallas Page. What are you thinking?
Oh, I was like, who are we talking about? Oh, Hangman. Definitely.
He looks a lot like DDP in this picture.
He does. He very much does. No, he totally does.
James Storm.
Yes, there's definitely some James Storm. I was going, especially with the beer drinking.
Yeah. Which
is like a storyline they drop and then pick up on because I thought he was over it and then he's drinking in this week's episode again. So
he was thirsty.
I don't know. Maybe he is thirsty. Yeah. He's definitely I would say a more athletic James Storm.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'll agree with that. With that. The guy can go. He's got a personality. He may be a little bit, I wouldn't even say off to the side because he's actually already been a champion, a tag team champion.
Yeah.
But compared to all the other people around him, he gets lost in the shuffle from time to time. But the guy's really good. And I think when they decide to put that heat behind him, he's going to go. He's going to
right now they're trying to get him to join the Dark Order. So
Right. And then you got Angelico, who has been seen in many promotions before. He's kind of like, what do you think? He's like the Angelico of AEW?
He's like the Angelico of Lucha Underground.
like a crotch rocket RVD.
I was gonna say he's a motorbike. Yeah, absolutely. Crotch rocket RVD is.
This one was for Hangman Page, by the way, a little bit Pillman, and that's a good one right there. That is a good one.
I was gonna say that doesn't make any sense for Angelico.
All right. The 5-tool player, Anthony Bowens. If I just go by looks alone, he's David Otunga.
Well, he debuted on the show last week, and they use a rapping type gimmick. So I'm like, they're 2020 Crime Time. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Then you got Brody Lee, who's in that weird little spot there. Kind of looks like he borrowed the New Day's attire for the picture.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Austin Gunn, Billy Gunn's son.
Yep. He reminds me a lot of Billy Gunn.
Who's a thigh man? I don't know. Like what kind of man is he? His dad's an ass man. Is he an ass man too, or does he go for it?
I don't know. I feel like he should break apart and do something different.
I'm a smile man.
I'm here for your personality.
So you got Brian Cage, who is a behemoth. He is. Oh God, I can't remember. Like I'm thinking old school, like 80s wrestler.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I say it's funny. He's like, I mean, he was in Impact Wrestling, his former Impact Wrestling champion. Dude's built like a young Brock Lesnar, but moves like a cruiserweight.
Well, Brock at first could move like that. It's just been so long since we've seen it, we forget this.
That is true. That is true.
So expect Brian Cage to stop moving in about 10 years.
Yes, most likely.
This is kind of controversial. Cage equals Ryback light.
Light, ooh.
So does that imply that Ryback's better at it?
I don't know. That's where I was like, is he light because maybe he's shorter than Ryback? I don't know.
And then you got Cash Wheeler, who looks a lot like some guy that used to be in WWE.
Yeah, I mean, and definitely they're the Four Horsemen. They are.
Yeah.
If you want an old school tag team off of AEW's roster, it's FTR.
But if you need a WWE comparison, he's a Forgotten Son.
Yes.
And then you got Chris Jericho, who is the Chris Jericho of AEW.
He's the Chris Jericho of many promotions.
And if you've ever enjoyed anything Chris Jericho has done, you will like what he's doing in AEW most likely.
Yeah, because he reinvents it every month or two.
Yeah. So Jericho continues to impress. You know, the guy has a mind for it.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
Somehow knows things will get over.
If you come for Sting and you stay to see what Chris Jericho is going to do next.
Yeah, I mean, then you got Christopher Daniels, of course, who has been a part of so many promotions in the past that odds are you know who he is by now. Or
yeah. He's the Curry man of AEW.
The Best Friends, Chuck Taylor, of course, the first of the names here. They're the New Day of AEW.
Yes. Yep.
Because they have no problems hugging each other, showing affection, having a good time out in the ring, bringing their mom to the event. It's like
they're definitely.
And I would put Orange Cassidy in there too.
Yes, I would. Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
That's me molding the group.
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. But the Best Friends, they're the New Day. Mm-hmm. Maybe not as. They're over the top, but not as over the top. You don't got the cereal. You don't got the unicorn horns. But the camaraderie is there.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely for sure.
Then you got Cody Rhodes, who, if you needed a name to compare to, it's kind of like the Stardust of AEW.
Yes, very much like the Stardust of AEW.
Yeah.
Less face paint, more suits.
And less mustache.
And a more entourage, because there's 17, 20 other people in the Nightmare family because they just added a new one or two on Dynamite.
I think I may start a Lightning family.
You should. Just the Lightning family.
Anybody here watching the show right now, if you want to be a part of the new Lightning family, you're in.
You're in.
You're in.
He's just trying to get more than the Nightmare family at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody from this point now, John Lightning, Nathan Lightning, Casimir Lightning, everybody's Lightning.
Everybody Lightning.
Yeah. Colt Cabana is the Scotty Goldman of AEW.
You said it before I could. Damn it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. He's also like the New Day, except for he's currently but with the Dark Order. He thought we were mofos.
You can be both, Nathan. Okay? You can
it's
be both.
branding. He can't make up his mind.
Well, I'm like WWE. Every month I have a new nickname, okay?
It's true. No, you're right.
More T-shirts.
The Samoan submission,
molding my trademarks. Colt Cabana, just, I don't know, a goofball. I mean,
he's not doing anything right now, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. We already talked about FTR there, you know, with Dash. Dustin Rhodes, kind of like the Goldust of AEW.
Very much like the Goldust, or like the Reign of TNA Impact Wrestling.
Or the Seven of WCW.
Or the natural Dustin Rhodes of WCW. Or
I don't think he has any more nicknames of Life.
Of Life.
Dude is amazing. We've talked about it on a couple shows, but if you're here for the AEW talk, you think Goldust was done? You think that AEW just picking up a wash away, a wash up star? No. This guy has so much fuel left in the tank. He's doing flipping pile drivers now, and he's what, 53, 52?
Yes. Yeah. I think he gets credit for putting on makeup to be the guy in the back. When you put on your face paint and your only job on the show is coming out and saving someone, that's dedication. Yeah,
rather than coming out shirtless. But at least that's like, I was in the middle of something. I had to save you. Nathan, Ballz is not a part of the Lightning family. So we don't have to worry about that.
No, I wasn't invited. It's fine.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll recruit him, but not yet.
No. Apparently I have to work for it.
Eddie Kingston.
Oh.
Bad News Brown.
I mean, maybe. It's definitely the Conan. I mean, definitely like a smart... Eddie Kingston's good in the ring, but he is a great talker. Like, I think his stuff with Moxley was so good because of how well he talked. And how personal it got. I do think there's a lot of Conan in there, for sure.
Justin, going back to Dustin Rhodes and Goldust, says that WWE wasted his talent as a dumb gimmick. I disagree. I think Goldust was almost a revolutionary gimmick, and it seems like it was one that he was willing to embrace.
Yes.
It's just at the end they didn't do anything with him. Like they started doing like these Hollywood vignettes.
Yeah.
That he was cutting these promos. Then they scrapped those, and then he was working with Cedric Alexander, scrapped that. It's like they just didn't keep going with any of it. And all in this time, in his last 2 years of it, he never wrestled.
No.
But now we see him in AEW here, and the guy is blowing my mind.
You watched that first feud of his was him against Cody, and those matches are fantastic.
Yeah. Casimir wanting to know if he was in TNA. If you're talking about Dustin Rhodes, yes, he was Black Rain. If you're talking about Eddie Kingston, also yes.
Yes, yeah. Eddie Kingston was there. He was DC. He was in the DCC with James Storm and random dude with black long hair. I don't know.
So Frankie Kazarian would be the douchebag of AEW.
Yes.
If you want a guy with very little personality but a lot of talent, Kaz is your guy.
Yes.
Which in WWE you could probably find a good amount of those guys that are actually really talented but with no personality whatsoever.
Yeah. No, I'm
Private Party, the Street Profits.
Street Profits, or if like MVP's VIP lounge was a person.
Wow, Daniel here taking a shot. Some of the people that watch AEW are already dummies. Woo.
Ooh.
Woo. Woo.
I mean, is he insinuating the people that follow it blindly and like apologize for everything?
I don't know. I'm
I don't know.
Heat from that one,
right? Yeah.
Damn, it is getting hot in here. Bounce. All right. Jack Evans is much like Angelico. You've probably seen him in other companies. Not a guy that's ever really going to be a huge name, but a very consistent talent.
He's the lost Hart family member that always shows up when there's Hart reunions, but isn't an official Hart.
Yeah.
He, teamed with many years for Teddy Hart in Mexico. He's been part of the Hart groups that were in Impact Wrestling and Canadian groups there. I know he trained in the Hart Dungeon with Teddy Hart, so like he's also like a great luchador style wrestler.
So it's easy to make a Jake Hager, Jack Swagger joke.
Yes.
But I'm trying to think of bad wrestlers. Like, this is way too kind to him. Like, he's like the Batista of AEW because he likes to wear those collared shirts.
Yes.
He just kind of stands around looking goofy.
Yeah. No, he does. His promo this week against Wardlow when the whole group of Inner Circles are together, they finally like hash everything out. And then Hager goes, "Why is he always staring at me?"
Nathan fighting back a little bit from Daniel's comment there, but no. Hager's, it's interesting that he's in this role. He's fine in this role.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have imagined that they would keep him in kind of just a low card role. And is this true? Is this true that Zeus has passed away when you and I were just talking about Zeus before the show?
Minute on the show, like minutes.
Is this true?
I don't know.
Yeah, 13 minutes ago, Tommy Tiny Lister, Zeus dead at 62. That's according to TMZ.
Oh man.
Oh jeez. Man. Way to bring the mood down, Nathan. I'm kidding.
No,
Plus, no holds barred. Oh, so fun.
Man.
And I like he was the bad guy with a heart in The Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm. That's true. He was.
Give me that. I'm gonna do what you should have done 15 minutes ago.
That's right. And throws it out the window.
Throws it out the window. All right. The bad boy Joey Janela. Mojo Raleigh.
Right? Like, yes. He's a more hardcore Mojo Raleigh.
Yeah. And I don't want to say this to Joey Janela either. I mean, like, there's got to be somebody else, but that's just the first name that comes to my mind there. It's the glasses, I think.
Yeah, it is. It really is the glasses, and most likely he's probably going to wear zebra print. Like,
yeah.
Like
The
they're
Zumbas.
definitely, yeah, the Zubas, yeah, definitely. I mean, style wise, not really, but look, I get it.
John Moxley, the Dean Ambrose of AEW.
Definitely.
Unleashed.
Unleashed. Also, I would say, like, if you're making a comparison, he's the Stone Cold of AEW.
I was going to go slightly different, but still complimentary. I thought he was the rated R superstar Edge.
Okay.
Where he's a little bit hardcore. He kind of does what he wants. The crowd's behind him when we're supposed to be behind him.
Yeah.
You know,
I could see that.
Skip of the Bonnie Dottas.
Yes.
The worst star on the roster, Joey Janela. Whew. A super small white macho man. How dare you be such macho man?
Am I? Wasn't Macho Man white?
Like, now I want to be like, no.
Like, wait.
Yeah.
Is the Macho Man you're thinking of actually Jay Lethal? Is it Black Machismo?
Ooh, yeah. And then maybe you want to break down Jungle Boy, or do you want to do Jurassic Express?
Jurassic Express probably as a group. Oh man, how do you Jurassic Express? Oh, okay. Yeah, overly white, like Moe's level. I got it.
They compare him to like Sheamus then. You son of a bitch. You're out of the Lightning family.
Ballz World Order.
Wow. Daniel is he's
Dad
sitting on thumbtacks today or something, you know. Dad should have pulled out.
Dad should have pulled out. Oh man. Jungle Boy, I mean, they remind me of you said the New Day because of the camaraderie for the best friends, but I would go that route for Jurassic Express as well. They can be very comical. You know, Marco Stunt is like 5 foot nothing.
Yeah.
110 pounds. My 14-year-old daughter is larger than Marco Stunt. Like,
don't say that when she's around.
I wouldn't use the word larger. Yeah, I was going to say, she's just taller than Marco Stunt.
Yeah, you definitely need to watch that. Yeah. Or you're going to have to be really kind at Christmas.
Also true.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy, like Jurassic Express, have an interesting gimmick. Luchasaurus, I think, is super talented. They're all talented in their own way. But I can't think of a good, also like an Oddities, like a carnival type feel.
Yeah, there's still somebody I'm like trying to think of here that would make sense because you got two small guys, you got this really big guy that they're hanging on and hanging out with.
And but like literally, Marco Stunt rides Luchasaurus to the ring. Like,
yeah,
I can definitely say that I have not seen that before. The dynamic of like the small acrobatic guys and the tall dude, that's just wrestling 101.
It's almost like this is kind of like a DX, and Luchasaurus is China.
Oh, that burns coming back. Oh,
it burns.
They are a G-rated DX. Yes, I get that.
I look at Luchasaurus right there. We talked about Omega, Kip Sabian. What do you got for this one?
Oh, he's British.
Mark Merritt. Guy always talking about his hot girlfriend.
That's true. That is true.
Trash talker, sometimes wins, not all the time.
Yeah. He's a good cruiserweight. He's honestly, I thought he would be higher on the card than he is right now, because he came in pretty hot with during the first couple episodes or before All Out, stuff like that. I think he's just trying to get his footing.
Yeah, you can say you don't like the Lightning family, but it's fine. It's all right. Be upset. Thinks a little bit Rick Rude.
I can see that.
A little bit.
Weaver is the Stone Cold Steve Austin of Wrestling Audio. He just does whatever he wants to.
He's the Gilbert of Wrestling Audio. When you're in the Lightning family, you're somebody. When you're out, you're nothing.
Gilbert was at least in the job squad, though. That's not a loner. That's a squad.
You and John can be a tag team together and call yourselves the Union. All right? That's what you guys can call yourselves, because the Union sucked.
Ballz Weaver.
See, even your names suck. All right, what about the marriage breaker, Lance Archer?
He's a
murder hawk monster.
He's like a murdery Lance Hoyt. He's that typical large, wrestler. I mean, I feel like every company has more than one. I think he went to Japan, kind of honed his skill, came back way better than he was as Lance Hoyt or Vance Archer in WWE for that short run.
You think? I'm trying to find other big guys that he's compared to.
Yeah, right.
And it's a loose comparison, but the former mentality, the heel side of the Big Show.
Okay.
Before the comedy, before him started doing the fat bastard impressions and the Hulkamania, and more like the Giant almost. And this first run, or his first few months in WWE, like early Big Show, where you got this big guy who's cocky, he knows what he can do. He can move. Big Show used to be able to really move.
Oh yeah.
So that's probably where I'd compare him.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking like a test, but.
Well, he says reminds him of the Undertaker. When it comes to the moveset and everything, how how much the big guy flows in the ring. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I could see that totally.
John says he'll take Gilbert all day.
Say throw him in right to censor.
We all know. You can have Luther.
Luther is nepotism at its finest. He's there
which
because
heel
he's
big show? I just told you which heel big show.
Which of the 16 heel turns, though?
You're down. You're down in the lightning. You're still in, but you're down in the lightning fan.
Heel turn 12 through 14. Luther, he hasn't even made it on TV for me to compare him to anybody yet.
Yeah. He's
Matt Hardy,
Lars Sullivan. He's Naked Midian. Which one? Where do you want to go with him?
Yes, Naked Midian I think is better than the Freak Lars Sullivan for sure.
I mean, he's got the face for the Freak.
He's like hair, but just if Naked Midian and Kazarni had a baby, it would be Luther.
Yeah, Kazarni, by the way, has used his time off during the pandemic to get in shape.
Has he?
Yeah, he's like Miro level.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
that's
Matt Hardy.
You know Matt Hardy. Like we shouldn't have to explain Matt Hardy to someone.
Luther Sandman is a doctor gimmick. He's a Gangrel when the Rogaine failed.
I get it. Yep.
I like them all. Miro, of course, is Rusev.
Yes.
I still think they're trying to find like.
He's
a lot of people love what he's doing. I think they're still a step or two away.
They are. I think they are. I think right now Miro and Tony Khan was very much honest with it. With like, he didn't want to hold off signing Miro, but yeah, Miro is a victim of there's too much going on right now to really push him. So right now he's Kip Sabian's buddy. He has late 90s Eminem hair, and he's a Twitch streamer, and he dresses however the hell Miro wants. And I think, honest to God, he just looks like he's having a ball.
Yeah, which is great, and it's unfortunate. I think Miro would be better as a face right now. I agree. I was just about to say that. Like, the fans have been desperate to cheer him. I think a heel turn probably would have been in the cards sooner than later. I would have let us cheer him a little bit and then him break our hearts.
Yes.
But
I get
he
that.
wants to be a heel. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time they'll have Miro ransack Chuck E. Cheese because they're out of tokens.
Ooh.
I'd watch that. Are you kidding me?
I would totally watch that as long as he's wearing his mask because, he's not.
Then you got MJF, who is kind of a young, more guided Miz.
Yes, Miz is definitely where I was going. More guided is a good thing to put on there.
Because Miz, it took a while for him to find the heel that really took off. I mean, he's a world champion now, for God's sake, the Miz.
Yeah.
But it took a while for him to get to that point of not just X-Pac heat of like, oh, it's the Miz, but legit, we want to boo the guy.
No, yeah, and he knows his character. I think if there's anyone on the roster that is this comfortable with who they are, it's MJF. Like, he knows that character inside and out. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. We talked about Marco Stunt. We talked about Private Party. Matt Sydal, Evan Bourne. Same. He doesn't really do the third eye stuff as much now.
He has.
I know, but it's not like that. Was a bigger deal in Impact. Maybe it's just too many people.
It could be just there's not enough promo time or whatever. But yeah, he definitely did it more in Impact Wrestling. Great hand. I hope he gets some more time to shine. I really do.
Yeah. Great guy. Down to earth. Cool stuff. We're running out of time, so I don't want to necessarily go through everybody, but at least I want to hit the big guys. Orange Cassidy. Yeah, we talked about the best friends, but Orange Cassidy is so unique.
I'll say I have no comparison for Orange Cassidy.
This is one that if anybody streaming us right now has a suggestion for that legit makes sense, because you got a guy who is just so cool, nonchalant.
Yeah, and I almost take back what I said. Like, I know I said if MJF knows his character, Orange Cassidy knows that character, and he was able to sell it to everyone, and we all bought it and believe it. And He's super talented.
I'm like, I wanted to compare him at first to like the idea of CM Punk, that the guy is so out there doing his own thing. But even then, that's not. It's not the personality. It's just the idea.
Yeah.
And like, I'm surrounded by the figures here, and I'm looking around, and like nobody is standing out that really makes sense.
No, I can't think of anybody that makes sense like that.
A little bit Sandow shouldn't be over, but he is, just because he's that entertaining, maybe. But even then, I think he's probably surpassed a Sandow level.
I agree with that.
Roman Reigns with the Superman punch. I mean, Roman Reigns,
he does have a Superman punch.
Collected at times.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep looking around the room, goddammit. So moving on. That, by the way, that's Akira Tozawa.
Akira Tozawa gets screen time.
So this is a fun collection right here.
Yeah. Yes.
So Ortiz, a part of LAX.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Or, the former LAX. Yeah.
Is there anybody, Andrade, an Angel, just because they're Mexican as well? I mean, like, what?
No. Like if we went that route, it'd be like, just typical older Mexican wrestler. No. No, not really.
Yeah, it's LAX. Any incarnation of LAX. That's
of them. Yeah, going back to when they had Machete as a member.
Let's go with that. I like it, Nathan.
Los Boricuas. Yeah, there we go.
Pac, the former Neville of WWE, now just evil.
Yeah.
Although we're cheering him right now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're supposed to be. He wasn't on this week, but like if you take the character he had, yes, just like that Adrian Neville fella. Yeah. If you take the character he had at the end of his run at 205 Live, and then like amp it up to more of a bastard, that's the level Pac is right now.
Just really angry. Really angry.
Yes, and super letting his accent get over.
And then you got Penta, you have Phoenix, you have the Lucha Brothers there.
Yeah.
Famous all over the world.
Yeah, really I mean, you could draw comparisons to Rey Mysterio just because they're all famous masked luchadors, but I mean they both bring different stuff to the table for sure.
Again, with a little bit more, even when they're faces, even more of a heel side to it.
Especially Penta, yeah.
Yeah. So I like that, and this is definitely my favorite. This is my favorite graphic collection of stars that we had, just for the sheer variety. Peter Avalon, who I was gonna say I was trying to think of bad gimmicks like Duke the Dumpster, IRS.
Yeah. Is he the Vladimir Kozlov of the Santino?
It's funny. I wanted to say Sandow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We just had the Sandow reference there, but for a guy that's better than us, but with the current gimmick will not really get over.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm the most entertaining tag team in the world right now.
Yes.
Shit they do is crazy, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
We got Dark Order, Natural Nightmares, QT Marshall, which we're going to try to get on a future table talk. I didn't realize this till recently. Is a graduate of Devon School.
Oh, no, I didn't know that either.
So we're going to hopefully check in with him sooner than later and see what he's up to. I don't know if I really have a solid comparison for him.
No, I don't either. I'm trying to think of someone who's probably. Oh man, I don't want to say underwhelming because that's not what I mean.
Say it.
Well, I already said it.
Exactly what you mean.
He's a good wrestler, but you said kind of generic. He's definitely out of the Natural Nightmares. It's definitely Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall.
Yeah. I'm trying to again look around somebody that's could be a really good worker, but it just
that's what I keep trying to think of, a really good worker, but not so much their character wise.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Mr. Perfect is really kind, I think, to
Mr. Perfect had the character though, and so great worker, but also fantastic character.
Is he a Curtis Axel? A look that's okay, but guy can go in the ring.
Yeah. No, yes, I would go with that. Curtis Axel's a good one.
Yeah. Ricky Starks looks, and this is not help anybody but me, the Sonny Siaki of AEW.
He's totally the Sonny Siaki.
Right? He's one of the Flying Elvises.
I miss him. He retired.
Yeah,
he gave his kidney up to his brother or something like that.
So we're talking about Santana, part of the LAX. Sammy Guevara.
Part of the Inner Circle. I think Sammy, I mean, this might be QT, Brad Armstrong. Yeah.
I'll give that. Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. Sammy Guevara, I almost want to see a very young Eddie Guerrero. He definitely has that high flying mentality, and he's learning to be a cocky, high flying heel, and I can see that.
You give him more praise than I do, only because he's so young. He's got a long ways to go.
Absolutely.
I was thinking Brian Kendrick or Paul London.
I could see that too. Absolutely.
And that maybe just starting young enough, they can kind of mold him the right way.
Yeah. I mean,
Scorpio Sky looks like a rejected member of Mortal Kombat in this picture.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's definitely...
Get over there.
Yeah, I don't know where he is right now because SCU keeps coming out to help people and he ain't there.
Yeah. John Spears,
he's easily the Ty Dillinger of AEW.
Yeah.
Another one who, he's trying to get his character over, just not there yet.
Sting is kind of like...
He's the Darby Allin of...
Yeah, that's a good one.
He's he's an old school Darby Allin. Mixed with the Crow.
And what about Sonny Kiss there?
I would say Sonny Kiss is the gold dust of AEW. Something that's probably ahead of their time. It's not going to appeal to everyone.
Yeah. There's still a closed-minded audience there that's not going to appreciate it.
There is, for sure.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. The Butcher and the Blade. We haven't talked about them yet.
I consider them more of a throwback to a Road Warriors, a Demolition.
Nice.
They're an old school with a really fun gimmick. The Butcher he's a guitarist for, what band is he the guitarist for?
I don't remember.
Okay.
You expect me to know things.
I do, because it's right in your alley. You have an alley, it's right there.
I don't have an alley.
You do.
I don't even own a street or anything. I like that Trent's got a question mark. Wardlow, the Bodyguard.
He's the Sylvester Terkay of AEW. Wears a singlet. He's your typical big dude.
He's the Tyson Tomko to MJF's Christian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, at Ballz, they're having bipolar moments of whether or not they want to push Scorpio solo.
They do. They absolutely do. And Scorpio had these great matches against Cody Rhodes and some of the other stuff he's done, and they just I really think the pandemic halted a lot of what they were trying to do with Scorpio.
Gee, we got the women. We probably won't go through all the women. Powerhouse Hobbs, roided up Black John Cena. Darren Young. That's a Darren
He's
Young
Big E before he became Big E. When he was still Big E Langston and hung out with AJ Lee.
Yeah.
That's Powerhouse Hobbs.
All right, so you got Shotzi Blackheart.
A haunted Shotzi Blackheart.
Yeah. Or what Asuka used to be before WWE.
Also true.
Allie.
I forget her name in Impact, so I can't even make the joke.
Fail. Awesome Kong looks like that woman from Glow.
Also Karma from WWE.
She's in Glow.
You
wouldn't know because you don't watch the damn show.
And yet I still knew it. What are the odds?
Yeah, because we've talked about it. And you haven't watched the show.
No.
Hey, John, you want to get back in the Lightning family? And I know you do. Tell this guy to watch Glow.
Big Swole.
Bianca Belair had
Bianca Belair.
Yeah. Brandy Rhodes, the Stephanie McMahon of this company.
Yes.
Britt Baker. Like there's got to be a good one there. Like Bailey, maybe that as a heel, Bailey always thought she was doing the right thing for her fans. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
It's a stretch. You got Shaq's person here.
Yeah.
You got an alien chick.
Chris Statlander thinks she's an alien, so that's
So that's also Shotzi Blackheart. You got old Blue Pants here. Another librarian.
Yeah.
Deborah McMichael. Remember Deborah?
I do. Yeah.
The attitude era, D-Bra Deborah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. D-Bra Deborah.
You got Nia Jax.
Yeah.
You got Kairi Sane. Only because they look like Maurice.
I was going to say, Penelope Ford to me is like a punk rock Maurice. Yeah.
She looks like the bald Serena Deeb.
Actually, the woman above her is the bald Serena Deeb, and then we have regular Serena Deeb.
Well,
who I didn't even think she's the NWA champion, yet she's on the AEW roster page.
Yeah. And going through, obviously, Jim Ross, Justin Roberts. Taz as much of a character on screen as he is a commentator.
For sure.
But it's nice that there's a lot of ECW throwbacks that he's doing. So if you're a former ECW, and I'm talking the original, ECW, that's awesome. Tony Schiavone from WCW.
Yeah.
And then Alex here, a lot of people may not realize, when Lucha Libre USA, they had 2 seasons on MTV on the first season, MTV2 the second. That's where Rebby Sky kind of got her big break. That's where she met Matt Hardy. The rest, as they say, is history. I was in the running for that ring announcer job that Rebby had, and the guy that reached out to me was Alex.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So Alex was the guy that I had a communication with for a little bit that I was honest. I'm like, I can't say their names. I'm probably not going to be a good ring announcer. I'm not going to waste your time or mine.
Penta. Could you make it more American for me?
Yeah. Wow, he's really out of the Lightning family. You're done. Your little Ballz Weaver tag team or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
I don't get it. So anyway, that's a very quick crash course. I'm sure some of it is probably incorrect. That's what we do on the show. But
incorrect but fun.
I hope so. Hopefully. But if you're new to AEW, obviously there's people watching on the live stream now, but maybe you're watching this on demand. Realize there's a lot more people than you're probably aware of that are in this company getting a chance that they haven't had. And we talk about DDP, Jake the Snake. There are so many former legends.
And you not knowing who they are isn't necessarily a bad thing.
That's also
there's a lot of brand new tag teams that have just debuted in the last month or so. No one knows who they are yet. So really, you're learning just like everyone else.
Yeah. And that's the same thing with WWE. Even if you watch WWE, you had to start somewhere, as Ballz said, with the Keith Lee, Bianca Belair, the Street Profits. Like all of them go through this learning curve at some point. So I agree with that. With me ring announcing Lucha Libre USA, hey, it's Pentagon. Geometric shapes are fun. Actually, I would be excited to say that one because I can say Pentagon.
It's Pentagon Junior.
Oh my God, it's Pentagon. I could say his name.
Pentagon.
Yeah,
shapes are fun.
If there's anybody we left out, if there's anybody that maybe the comparison isn't quite as spot on as it should have been, not on target, let us know at Wrestling Audio on the socials. Fun to do something different today, talk AEW, and who knows, maybe we'll do it again next week when people refuse to watch this show.